now, recording everything. So I got everything in front of me to chat. The whole 9 yards. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to go through some of the big benefits, obviously, of crypto. And let's go through this. All right, so the first thing is I have an agenda. I'll go through that. All right, this is what I just heard on the Kaiser report. If some of you watch it, it's very true. We know about inflation. You're probably seeing it at the supermarket. People don't realize that they're losing buying power in their local currency. If you have a job, it's not a good thing because you're losing what you put into the economy from your labor. It goes down. So basically, essentially what you're paying out to your employer, that value is going down. So I'd like to congratulate you for that. So there's a couple of things here. People are looking for investments. They're going to start looking at gold and silver. If you're on my Telegram, you'll know that I like to joke around because gold and silver does not really mean a lot. And gold and silver is really clearly manipulated. If you look at trading desks, they've been charged by the SEC and other regulators in the US. And there's a quote I just learned from Kaiser report, and this is from Paul Tudor, who's considered one of the best investors out there, said that Bitcoin is the bet on the future of humans because everything else is going down. So it's important to understand that crypto as a whole is important. And Goldman Sachs did put out a report lately on what's performing, what's not. They did say, and this is the largest investment bank in the world, they said Bitcoin is easily the number one asset, and probably crypto overall is the number one in the world right now, and has been probably for the last year and a bit, year and a quarter, year and a half. And what's number worst is gold, because it's not performing. With what's going on, gold is not performing the way it's supposed to. So obviously the question is, where do you go? Now, you know my answer. That's going to be gold. Is going to be crypto. I've played around for probably last couple of months, wasting my time really on USA exchanges, namely Coinbase and Kraken, which are the two largest. Kraken was good. Coinbase is trash. Kraken now is trash. And I say that because of this. Good luck with getting those support tickets answered, which they'll never will, and you may have to wait 5 days. Meanwhile, you're losing opportunity on certain coins because both Kraken or Coinbase are not performing as you want, or Coinbase doesn't have the, which I'll show you tonight. So there's that. So any questions so far? Don't be shy. I have the chat open. You can chat away. I've got both on YouTube and Zoom here. So let's go through this again. So I don't know if you saw what I posted yesterday. This is not more algorithmic trading, technical. Question was, where can you set up a trading server? Where can you get ultra low latency? Just no different than HFT. There's a report I put up, confirmed it myself yesterday with Binance.com. If you set up on Vultr, VULTR, you can set up a trading server, virtual trading server in the Tokyo data center in the same city as where Binance servers are. You will get ultra low latency. And what I saw was 2 milliseconds. And I confirmed it yesterday. I don't know how it works, but it seems to be confirmed. Now, as I said last night in the webinar, how much are you willing to pay or will be paying for that type of access on a US exchange like the CME? You're probably going to be up to $5,000 to $10,000 a month just for that privilege, for that access. So again, you guys can chime in anytime you want, jump in. with a question, comment. This is a two-way conversation. So now let's talk about your strategy, your investment strategy, your day trading strategy, whatever asset class you want. Last night, we talked about Forex retail trading, which is pretty well, in my mind, pretty well dead. If it's not the broker that's going to cheat you, it'll be probably your strategy. And I just put up a video today. Majority of Forex pairs are pointing down. If you're willing to risk the shorting, a lot of Forex pairs are not predictable. And I mean, there's a few out there like USD and Norway because it's a safe haven, but we have to wait out for the next panic. So that's a problem. Now, as I said at the beginning, we have an inflation in the economy, and the report was you're going to lose 10% on the US dollar per year moving forward. 10%, 5% already up in food cost, and that means your investments, your home is losing value. So you have to find a way to counteract that. So if you have not been tracking what I've been doing, the question is your strategy, whatever you're doing, giving you potential peak return, double-digit return per day, 7 days a week? Most likely not. The only strategy that I've seen that does that is being crypto and being on Binance. As I said, the problem with Coinbase, Kraken, they don't have the coin selection to give you the performance that you need to counteract the inflation, the drop in your currency, so on and so forth. So we have a real problem on our hands moving forward, and I think this is going to be a problem for a while. They're equating this period right now, the boom in the stock market is the roaring 20s, and at some point we will move into the equivalent of a crash. 1929, I've talked to people about it. They're saying 1929 crash times 10. I believe it because of the US debt at $30 trillion. It's very unsustainable. This is one of the reasons why they're going to be talking about inflation. They want inflation. They want you to suffer. They want you to be poor because the only way they can reduce is the debt. They think with this great reset that they'll be able to change the economy, the monetary policies they have right now. It'll fail. The Americans are, I hate to say it, too arrogant to think that they'll be able to get themselves out of the traditional way of doing it. As I said, I just put up a video using Oanda CFD data to show the rest of the world is not interested in US dollar or anything in US outside of short-term gains that they're getting in the US exchanges right now. The debt level's serious, $30 trillion. So when you look at the gold bugs, they'll hold anything in gold in whatever currency, with the exception of the US dollar. They'll hold it in maybe euro, but euro's no better than the US. They'll hold it in the Swiss franc, maybe the pound. They'll hold it in the yen. They'll hold it maybe in the British pound, and so on. So if your country is heavily indebted, you're going to have a problem with inflation. So again, this is where now crypto is important. Not just any exchange will do, which has been quite a bit, 10 minutes or so. So the question is, what kind of daily returns are you getting? So let me show you what we're talking about here. This right here is my intraday chart since 12 noon today, okay? So lately, for this bot and how it's been performing, this is the total ROI that you would got in all these positions that are here. You would be up to 6% already since 12 noon today. So as I said, I've shown some of these spreadsheets that have P&L of up to 20%. So that's number one. This column over here, again, is the weighted average of the top biggest, highest volume coins on Binance. So So you can see here the weighted average was low. I'm going to show you the Bitcoin and why, and Ethereum the same way. But it started to gain speed and start to pick up here and increase up until this time at 4:30 today. So right here are the coins that were traded. I did a video on these. I'll show you some of these performers as well. So again, this is on Binance, what we're seeing right here. This is how Bitcoin's been trading on a daily basis. And again, if you are interested, chime away with a comment or a question. I can gladly do that. Thanks for watching as well. So here's Bitcoin. We had our 30% correction here when it hit 57,000 and approached 61. Well, broke through 60,000, corrected again, and it's on its march again. So this is the pattern of Bitcoin. Okay, I hear about all the time. I can show you the monthly chart. Like that's Bitcoin. 2-week chart, 1-week chart. See, whenever there's a pullback, it not only pulls back, but it blows up. And the reason each magnitude move up is because of this debt that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. All right, so we have another pullback here. Every time there's a pullback, it bounces back much higher, much stronger. So this is why I'm all in with Bitcoin, or I should say Binance crypto. All right, so I'm going to show you today's coins, some of them. Some of them I'm sure you never heard of. This one's a new one I'm going to show you called MITH. These are alternative coins that you probably can only get on but hopefully this will load up. I don't know why it's not loading up. There we go. So you can clearly see here, it's been bouncing around here December, January, February, March, and then it starts to perform. This is a typical performance of some of these, what we could call ICOs. Are these manipulated? Probably. Are these pump and dumps? Probably. But guess what? If it's performing well, meets the characteristics of my bot's specifications, it will not only trade it, but it will pump. It will put a lot of coin into it, and hopefully get some nice cash out of it. So we're looking at here, those are on, you're looking at 2 cents, March 6th, all the way up to 78 cents. Okay. So you can easily take advantage of that without losing a lot of money. Okay. So I just want to show that to you as a potential mover. These are the reasons on why I've put more energy into crypto, namely on Binance, because of these movers. And this is in the last few days. Okay. And a few things that I need to highlight here. There's a lot of people are going to get killed trying to do this on their own. They're not going to be able to because they don't know what moves. The only reason I know this moves is because my bot picks it up. Most people don't even know about this coin. They don't even know what it is. But did you read about it in a newsletter? Probably not. And even if you did, you may have missed this trading opportunity because it happened now. It might happen that you might be putting money in it and it may never happen at all. Next day you take it out and then it performs. Then it moves like this. So this is just one example of some coins that really do well. Another one to look at here is I've not seen it perform lately, but this one performed. Like you can see here in February, NEO, $24. Up until February 20th, and then that crash came. Okay, so there's some coins that could do really well. I'm just trying to recall some of these that have done really well in the last day, but this one's a clear winner. This MITH that I just showed you has been a really star performer. Just trying to show you some other examples. I'm sure you know about Doge. Doge is not listed on Coinbase. They're trying to get it listed on Coinbase, but personally, when it moves like this from a penny to 58 cents in short order, thanks to Elon Musk blogging about it, and then it goes back to its normal pattern of nowhere to be seen. So there are those kind of coins. I'm just trying to see what else there is. Oh, another one that's done really well. It's the buzz on Wall Street right now is Cardano. Let me show you that one. This little, you do the math here, as I like to say. Yesterday, the closing price was $1.03, and now it's trading at $1.28. My math tells me that's about a 25% move in one day, and that's a big coin. Okay, can you get that on Coinbase? No. Here's coin market cap. So here's the volume of Cardano. This one right here, number 4, bigger than USDT, Tether. A few weeks ago, this was pretty hyped up, pretty good. So even for holding coins, you can do quite well. But here we're actively trading these. As I said, anybody can chime in whenever they want. Thanks for the like on YouTube. Anybody can chime in. I just wanted to show you why Binance is the place. Okay, if you're US, we need to talk about this. Let me pull this up here. Okay, so my point here. Where is it? Yeah, US exchanges. If you are familiar with Robinhood, I mean, this is a total scam. Because this video will be taken down after this, but Robinhood, the broker, is a total scam. If you watch the Senate hearings, it's a complete mockery of the U.S. system. They allow this, these billionaires to really rip off people, and they allow it. And they try to hide behind the fact that they don't do it. It's all for the benefit of any American citizen, which is all crock of BS. And then on the other hand, what is more insulting to me for the US and Americans Kraken that do not, and I repeat, do not answer support tickets in a timely manner. I waited 5-6 days on Kraken. I'm still waiting on Coinbase. And these a-hole founders, Kraken, 2 weeks ago, they wanted a valuation on Kraken, the exchange at $10 billion, and it takes them 5 days to respond to a support ticket. Coinbase, that a-hole Brian Armstrong, trying to evaluate his exchange at $100 billion is a mockery, and I'm still waiting for my support ticket answer. So this is what makes me angry about these exchanges. I feel bad for Americans for this, but just write letters to your senator, Congress, whoever. I know it won't change anything, but that's the way the system's set up. Com will not take Americans. And the reason is because there's an article that came out that the US feds, I think it's FINRA or CFTA, whatever they are, they're going to investigate Binance US because they allowed Americans to trade on Binance.com. So the reason Binance.com is not registered and they're forced to register with these regulators for the US because they don't want to regulate. They don't need to be in the regulation to be in the US. When I checked it last night, pumping through their exchange. And even if it's a fake volume, who cares? You're able to reap the benefit of it. As long as you're able to withdraw out of your crypto account on Binance, you're good. Once that happens, you'll watch. They'll turn into the next BitMEX. But for now, take advantage of it. So here I'm showing you some very strong coins that have done well. Like Cardano is not a small potato. Today, you just got a 20% increase that you cannot get on Coinbase. All right, and then I've shown you that other exchange, the other coin, MITH. For those that are new, let me just show it, and that's in play still. Cardano's in play right now. There's no doubt about it. I don't think it's a top performer, but look at that. That's today, and that's on MITH.USDT. So everything I trade in is in spot and futures. And I'm setting up now. I just put up my videos on how to set up a virtual server using Windows Server Release 2, 2012 edition on Vultr. Put that on in Tokyo. You'll get a very, very, very ultra low latency. You can see here, based upon the number of positions that are being traded here, this is just since midnight, is that you're going to be trading hundreds of positions, not thousands, but if you're able to do it within the threshold trading rules of Binance, and you get that low latency, well, golly gee, maybe we've got an HFT trading set of strategies happening. By definition, they are. So, I mean, I know some that will trade 5,000 positions per day. I could easily do that, but I'm just going to keep it at the way it is. So it's looking good all around. I do believe that Binance will give you, we'll just say, extra oomph in the other against any other exchange. Let me show you the volumes here. Again, I'm not here to push you into being convinced that Binance is the best broker or best exchange. In my mind, they clearly are pretty trustworthy, okay? So let me show you the volumes here. Okay, so as I said, there's a spot market. Let this load up and see here that Binance is at $30 billion just in the last 24 hours. Coinbase, usually 1/10. And then Kraken is usually about 1/2 of what Coinbase provides. Kraken, you can trade on the futures, but Americans don't have access. This is one of the biggest piss-offs that I had with Kraken in the last month. Okay, so those are your top 3 exchanges. When you go over to the derivatives market, which is futures and options somewhat, Binance is now at 52 million. So just between these two markets, between spot at 30 billion and futures, you're looking at over $80 billion has been pushed through on Binance. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because Binance does own this website. I do believe that they are big. They're big, and they'll eat any next competitor's lunch. Here we have Huobi, OKX in the derivatives market, and combined, they still don't have the same volume of Binance. But these two exchanges are out of China. They had major scandals, and it's really kind of not a good situation to be in. But Binance, I just find them very innovative. And you can make a couple $100 a month. I'm going to be putting out my verified trading account on cointracking.info. So as a result, what I'm putting out here, it's going to get very, very expensive soon as a premium service because it's verified. So just keep that in mind. But I'm not here to talk about what I do. If you've got questions about it, be my guest. But it's going to enable people to reap the benefits of automated crypto trading on Binance.com. So a couple of questions here from With My Gates. Thanks for watching, dude. Appreciate this. So for Binance US version, I've heard that the main issue is there's low volume, which means there's a risk the orders will potentially not be filled. Does that mean it's a usable option? Now, that's a very good question. You can see here, this is the derivatives market on Binance. Let me go over to the spot. That's a really good question. And the answer is, okay, so number 9 is 764 million on Binance US and Coinbase Pro. So it's about half of what Kraken is, and maybe have a competitor to answer the question. So my answer to that question is this. The answer is, I have seen on Binance where I've got both a bot participating in the spot market and another one participating in the futures market. I will tell you, not all the time and pretty not regularly, but there's certain characteristics that have to be met. Hello, Sebastian. I will tell you that right now, Binance, some coins in USDT will trade the exact time as futures and spot. That's on Binance.com. So here's what I'm proposing to do. Can you synchronize the trades on Binance US against Binance.com? My answer is yes and no. Depends what you're trading. If you were to ask, can you do it on Bitcoin and Ethereum? Potentially. And what I'm going to be doing in the next day or so, I'm going to be transitioning my bot, the Kraken one, that started at $16,000, which was value of Bitcoin on November 11th. And that traded and pounded the Kraken exchange. And it only traded Ethereum and Bitcoin. It went from $16,000 and touched last month $2 million. So again, that's paper trading, but the potential of that is enormous. Let me show you the charts if you don't believe me. There's Bitcoin. So we're talking since November all the way back here, about $15,000 there. Okay, so November 11th, yeah, it's around 15,000, 16,000. You can see there at the bottom, and it has pumped all the way up to 60,000. So when I say it moved up to $2 million, you better believe your little britches that it did that. It says it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to transition that same set of trading rules to Binance and hope to see the same benefit as I did with the Kraken. Same trading logic, same trading rules. Okay, so to answer your question, and this is again with my gaze, is that if that's the case, that I can trade in the futures market on Binance.com, only Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should be able to synchronize those trades on Binance.us. So that's what I'm hoping to do and get the same performance. Okay, more questions have come in on Sebastian. Hello. Oh, another question from With My Gaze. Have you showed us many attractive spreadsheets lately, but what about the days where the bot fails or performs poorly? What kind of losses do these are typically? That's an excellent question. Let me show you. Now, most people won't do this, but I will do it, and I'll give you an answer why, and a general way to defend yourself against it. So this is yesterday, and up until I started running this new spot bot, as I call it, since you can see here, since March 3rd. So this spreadsheet here is the worst day, okay? And I got it right here. Now, I've shown you the total ROI. You can see here the total, and we're going negative 40. This is all paper trading, thank God. Okay, so what's the way to get around that? This is what I struggle with, and this is what I posted on my blog. So let's give you a random day, like on Saturday the 13th. If that was Saturday, okay, here's that day, same column. Okay, so here we have ROI being traded at all the way up to 20% in one day. So to answer your question on what to do when you have a very bad performing day, you can easily shut down the trading. You can easily set a daily target And once it starts to drop off, close off trading, wait till midnight. Okay, and that's what I propose to do. But if I have clients on the system, I'm going to still allow the signals to go through to the trading client so that customers can decide for themselves in the trading logic client if they want to continue trading. But do understand you're going to hit these kind of negative returns. So I'll be able to give that flexibility. It's not really a bot, just a set of signals, but the signals that look the best because they're usually the best performing. But I can never guarantee you what will perform. That's why I have this column here in this spreadsheet called weighted moving average, because this is a very good indicator of how those coins are doing overall. And those are, again, top 13 coins. So there's a set of measured risks that you can use to see how the overall crypto space is doing. And those are specific from Binance, and they're based upon hourly moves. So that you can use as a measuring stick to see if you actually want to go in and trade in the market. So there's different forms of from negative 0.52 and back to 0.82 positive. And you can allow the bot to start trading it. And that way is probably your best way to preserve your profit and your portfolio. That's the number one goal in trading. I keep saying, number one trading rule is not to make money in the markets. Okay. Your number one goal is to preserve the capital from the profit you generate. And then number two, get your profit. So that's how you can do that. And as long as you stick to that, you'll be fine. How do you buy with a bot the new listings? Now, the new listings, this is from JLo. Hello, JLo. I hear you're on the market. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, so again, let me show you this one right here, this MITH. This is a fast performer. What my bot does is it has capabilities to watch the movers. Cryptocurrency is the only market in the world that gives you the ability to watch performers. To repeat that and transition that, let's say in stock market, it's not impossible, but you have to pay for a screener. So there's these screening technologies that you can develop that are reliable and use half on hourly moves. As I said, in this spreadsheet here, this weighted average right here, this one is built around only hourly moves because we know how fast crypto moves. So this is very sensitive, but it's pretty close to being accurate onto what the market and how it's performing. Okay, because like I can tell you Bitcoin and Ethereum look good, not looking good because they have 90% of the market by volume. But then you get performers at the same time that are doing this 20% move, or this one that you've never heard of moving against Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you have to watch for those movers, and that's what the bot picks up on, and it goes through a series of criteria to confirm entry. It tries to build out positive profit. Here is the column for the P&L, the ROI on that position. Usually what you'll find is that it is in correlation with how this weighted average is. So you can kind of gauge based on that, but I've got other instances where it does so well that this is profit right there, no matter what you throw at it. So hopefully I'll answer your question, Gilo. Sebastian, is it a good moment to buy Cardano and wait for it to go down? Okay, so let's go back to Cardano. You can never say that about any particular cryptocurrency on when this will or when that will happen. You can never do that. There are many people that will try to time it as a human based upon hunches or what they read. You can't. You have to use the only way is through screening to just keep an eye on and rank the top performers that are moving on an hourly basis. Okay. And when you see weakness in that price, you dump it. And that's the only thing you can do. There's no story, there's no narrative, there's no exogenous event that can really move crypto. mean, Bitcoin's a different story because of the debt that I led with of the U.S. government. So a lot of institutions are buying into crypto, namely Bitcoin, because it's moving up. It's a hedge. Then I heard Max Kaiser saying that Ethereum is no good because, well, that's a pump and dump, and everything that's built on that blockchain is a pump and dump. So there's different ways to look at the market, but when you look at the two of these, by golly, they have similar moving up and down patterns, and everything else moves around it. But you get these instances of Cardano and Myth moving up and down for no reason. So you cannot predict which one will move and which, or say this timing or that timing. It's impossible. I just don't know how it can be done because it moves so fast. The markets move so fast, and it's so random. So the only real way to measure that is via hourly moves on certain coins that you watch. So that's JLo. Is it a good time to buy Cardano? So I answer that question. So JLo is saying fast pumps and fast dumps. This right here. Okay, let's do a weekly view here. So you can see what happened here. This thing got listed in March last year. And what did it do? It dropped, right? So now, last year, it started to move up. Is that a pump or a dump? Because if it was a pump and dump, somewhere along here, it was listed on another exchange and it moved up. So when you listen to the Tim Sykes of the world, in the world of penny stocks, that's a classic pump and dump, no questions asked. But now we have another pump on this thing, potentially, and probably is. But what's the story behind it? Why is it being moved up? And there's probably a story behind it. And at the end of the day, what does it matter if you've developed a bot that takes advantage of it, takes advantage of being able to dump it based upon just price and nothing else and profit? What do you care? You're able to benefit from that liquidity. The liquidity is right there in that volume. You can see it. So reap the benefit. And as I said, as long as you're able to withdraw out of your account on Binance, you're all golden, right? The day that Binance says, sorry, you're frozen and locked into this account, that's when you got problems. And that's what happened to a lot of the Chinese-based exchanges. So there's a lot of corruption out there. I've not seen it yet with Binance. That's why I'm talking about Binance, because it's probably the cleanest of the dirty shirts, as they say. And that's why we're here. But and the volume speaks for itself. But at the end of the day, no matter what people say, as long as you can get out and the timing's right, that's the key when it comes down to trusting where you park your money. For me right now, okay, if Binance went bankrupt, okay, and I took out some cash with Binance, I started doing this at $200 US. Okay, we're up to, I think, phone here. I'm going to pull up my Cointrack info here. Just give me a second here. So cointracking.info. Yeah, so here. So I'm gonna stop the share, put myself on video. Hi guys, can you see me okay? So let me show you what we got here. I hope you can see that. That's Cointracking right there. That's the amount started in my account, $5,268. Okay, that's my Cointracking right there. So I started with $200 on that. Active trader. So I would only lose $200 if it all went to hell in a basket. All right. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so hopefully that will help you out. More questions from With My Gaze and JLo. No, Sebastian. Thanks for asking these guys. On if you're on the Zoom, jump in, man, if you got questions. So Sebastian asks, I'm new in the world and I was watching to buy Cardano. Now I'm very confused. Yeah, I would be confused too, Sebastian. But as I said, this is why the only way to really profit in the market of crypto is as I suggest, because there are many, many people out there that you will watch, read, listen to that will tell you buy this, buy that. When you do it, you're probably going to lose money. I listened to one guy that took a course, traded 7 different coins, only one out of those 7 made money. So unfortunately, crypto moves so fast and randomly. There's no systematic way to trade like in stocks or in Forex. I mean, Forex is hard as well, but with Forex, you have some form of predictability. Here, it's hard because did you wake up today knowing that Cardano was going to move? Did you read something in the last 24 hours that buy now in Cardano that's going to move 20%? Did you go to sleep last night knowing that this one out of the blue would move from 22 cents to 8 cents 4 times in 2 days? This is the problem. Can you tell us again, what was the site you mentioned that you plan to have your verified trades on? Sure. Give me a second here. I'll actually put it in the so cointracking.info is what it's called. It's out of Germany. Their support is much better than the US exchanges. That's why I moved. So that's it there. I'll put it in the chat, both the Zoom and let's see here. So I'll put that in the chat for YouTube as well, those that want cointracking.info. So there it is there. So cointracking is for verifying your trading account on crypto. And you can as well, I mean, at that time of year. So cointracking.info is good. They got an app. It's really good. They talk to anything, any major exchange out there, and it's all real time. This is not like if you've got some trading guru, wait 3 weeks and you'll get my 3-month-old verified account. Like this one's number one, easily. Okay, so that's cointracking.info. A while back, you mentioned that you were working on a bot that works with interactive brokers. This is something still in development. With my gaze, that's a good question. I would have said yes. This is how I'm looking at it. I don't have the, let me just pull up CoinMarketCap again. So CoinMarketCap, love them or hate them, outside of maybe Binance self-promoting themselves, because like I said, they do own this website. If I go into the exchanges under derivatives, there's a few things that we can talk about here about options. Now, a few weeks ago, I learned that Binance has API now capabilities with Binance options. So I looked at it, and it's really essentially binary options, which are rubbish. So I'm not interested in that. But so Deribit is a true options market and a true futures market. They just don't have the volume. Okay. So the reason I bring these guys up is because options is something I'm very, very interested in. If I was to perform and develop a bot, it would be for interactive brokers, the exchange, namely for options, because we're just about to go into a super cycle, and hearing from other people that options will give you the same kind of returns as crypto. So the transition is go with what I've got with Binance and Binance only, and then move into Deribit, which is a European exchange. Again, they don't take Americans, unfortunately, sorry to say. But that's to learn the mechanics of options. Once you learn the mechanics of options, now you have the knowledge and the know-how to develop into the options market if the world decides to get rid of cryptocurrency and make it illegal, like India is. And I can trade mainstream instruments out of the US in the options market. So that's the next step for me, development-wise, and to develop that with interactive brokers, well, not with, but using interactive brokers as the broker, because they're honest. So no other questions. I don't see any other questions here. What time is it? I can stay on for a while if you want. If you got any other technical questions or financial or anything. I did a commentary in one of my last videos about an hour ago about U.S. debt, and the real takeaway of the current situation is this: if you are new to all this, currency, wherever you reside, wherever you work, is losing buying power. You have now inflation against you. You have inflation against you, and your only real hedge is crypto. So you might not get it from Bitcoin, Ethereum, but it's these little coins, Cardano, this other one that we just talked about from today alone will give you that. But sadly, it's hard to trade as a human. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, it's hard to trade as a human at all. So anybody else got any questions or comments? If not, with my gaze says, gotcha, thanks, no problem, man. I got 750 here. Oh, Jeff Long. Okay, welcome, Jeff. It's my first time on the meetup. Do you code your own bots, or do you develop out of any established development framework? Technically, I develop my own bots. They're 100% in Python. I have my own framework. I've got, do you guys want me to put it up there? Okay, well, let me just get the website ready. So on my website here, if you go to the blog here as a solution, okay, I don't know how many of you are programmers, if you are interested in programming, but I hate to say it, software rules everything. You look at the market cap of the largest companies in the world. I have a course that's built around what I use for my own framework. Actually, there's two. But this Python course here covers what I build out and use to build out bots. It can work with Oanda, FXCM for Forex if you want. I also have the same, but if I told anybody, stick with crypto. It's more lucrative and a lot of benefits. You can get crazy returns without needing to do leverage that you have to do in Forex, let's say. So this is available. I'll put this in the chats for anybody. So yes, I do develop my own. I do educate. I do have a more pricier service as well. I call it my Elite, and there's a course in there that I use specifically for debugging. So tonight I'll be underway to build out my Kraken trading logic that I had that built up that $2 million paper trading in the 4 months that I talked about earlier, and move it into Binance. And it's only going to trade both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hopefully repeat the same success. The length of time it takes me to build that is no more than 6 hours. To transition a bot from that one would be from Kraken futures and move it into Binance. So last week I was working on Coinbase and I ran into all these funding and execution problems with Coinbase. As I said, the real piss off for me was support. And I just said, screw it, I'm going back to Binance because I haven't had any problems with the filling, the execution, or the technical support. So I did that. I took the trading logic from that Coinbase bot, which was designed for Coinbase, and I was getting on average 0.5%, 1% every day, which is pretty good as a traditional trader. But as soon as I moved it over to on March 3rd, you can see the kind of cumulative returns I'm getting per day, intraday, 6%, 7%, 20%. That's the difference between Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance. That's why we're presenting this tonight. So I'm hoping, as I said, to repeat the same success that I have with Kraken and move it over into the world of Binance, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hoping, and the speed to be able to do this in a few hours, like 6 hours, because I got one guy who was really smart and thought C++ is an awesome programming language. He's built up a bot that's tied to Kraken using C++. But I told him, hey, dude, man, look at the difference I'm getting between Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance. Like, we're talking up to 10 times, 20 times profit potential. The volume is behind that as well. So for him to transition in C++, stuck in Kraken, and to move over to Coinbase, C++ or Java, it's going to take him months. So he could lose out on that opportunity that we have today. I saw the opportunity, and because it's all in Python, I'm able to get that all coded up in 6 hours. I've been able to code up the bots as fast as 3 hours because of this framework that I've got here for this. And that's the beauty of Python. The other thing that I need to highlight here is this, if you're in this splitting hairs and stuff, this performance that I talked about earlier, but the low latency on Binance, if you have a data server, virtual server on Vultr in Tokyo to give you a 2 milliseconds in Tokyo, just as fast as you get in New York or the CME, paying thousands a month, and you're not paying anything extra out of this. It gives you so much edge. All right, so I got more questions coming in from With My Gaze. What kind of pricing do you charge, for example, to allow a customer to use the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance trading bot signals? This is a monthly rate. Okay, so let me go back to the website here. So I have here the store. I'll put that link in to all the chats if you guys want to know about it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we have it here. So what we're talking about is this one with the light bulb. So this one right now is 3 months, $497. Now, originally it was pricey up front because the work it takes to set up the virtual server for people, because that's a lot of work. They cancel on you, and now you've wasted all that time and effort. So I did put that in there as an upfront cost. So right now, I have now gotten smarter and just make a snapshot of the virtual server that I made last night in Windows Server 2012 with everything pre-configured, ready to go, and just move it into a new Vultr account. So there's little work there. Plus, I provide the trading client as well in Python. Just turn on the signals and you're ready to go, as I talked about. So this is what it's at. It's going to go up, and it's going to go up because of one reason, because as I showed you, I'm using cointracking.info as verified account. So because I'm doing that, that puts me at a premium. And it's not just verified. It's verified like today, not, as I said, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month. It's verified today. So that puts my service with the performance it gives in a premium. It's at currently, but it will go up, and it'll go up a lot. So just be aware of that. I'll put this in the chat server as well. Okay, so that's the particular quant analytics service that I got. So Jeff asked, let me just pull this out here. Do you recommend any reliable source to buy historical crypto price data for back testing and research? Absolutely no, don't do it. You could easily go on to any exchange for free and download data like crazy. You shouldn't have to buy it, that's for sure. But as a hint, what you could do is, let me just pull this up here. What you're looking for on GitHub is CCXT. Just as an example, if you go to Google here, look for CCXT. I don't know what language you want, but let's say you want, well, it doesn't matter, but it supports Java, JavaScript, PHP, and Python. But here, the beauty of this library or this package, it covers well over 100 exchanges. Okay, this is the other beautiful thing I love about crypto is the ecosystem is just so good. It's so generous, and you don't need to download, or you can go and download data from any of these exchanges for free. So you should never have to pay for it. And I'll tell you the best exchange to go to that's the most generous when it comes to data, Binance. Gives you 1,000 rows if it's an hour, or 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, or a week, or 1 minute. You want that. Okay, so that's something I would definitely take advantage of with CCXT as well as a tip. So don't pay for it. You don't have to. You shouldn't have to pay for it. Any other questions at all? Because answering the questions gets me really excited here. I think we got, how many people? We got like 10 people or something. It's not bad. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Any other questions? Just ask me anything you want about trading. I'm here, man. Might as well. I'm online here. I just put up 2 videos on today. This coin right here, MITH. It's just one of. There was another one that doubled in no time. I put up another series of videos on Sunday. There was a bunch that did amazing. They're all different, and that's what I'm saying with the randomness in the markets. It's really hard to predict what moves, what doesn't move, and how long it'll last. The only thing I can tell you is watch it on an hourly basis. Okay, and as I said, you can use CCXT in Python or whatever you want to do that. It's one free utility you can use. Okay, so as a resource, if you're not interested in what I got, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that don't have the technical chops to do that. But that is one thing I would recommend. And watch the markets. Okay, here I'm using MotiveWave. It does talk to Bitcoin, Coinbase, Kraken, so you can watch and go crazy on your indicators. Here you got over 300 plus the automated strategies out of box on this thing. So even if you're not a technically advanced trader, you can use this MotiveWave software to really do awesome things. I'm not taking advantage of it. I know people have done really, really well. Smile always. This is why Binance charges. I'm not sure what that means. Unfortunately, smile away. I think I know who you are. If it's the same person that I think it is, the production server, the virtual server is ready to go. Ready to go. You can start your automated crypto trading like in the next 24 hours. It works. With my gaze, is it a waste of time to attempt to human trade futures, for example, the ES and NQ? No, I don't think it's a waste of time. Is it? Can you get predictability out of it? Yes and no. I just put up videos on it today on what I look for in this. I don't trade them because of the performance they get with crypto. Like, why hold up money when you're making 1% here and 1% there, where I could double it in like here in 2 days, right? Like, that's what I'm after. I'm after the explosive moves. So I don't trade stocks and Forex anymore. I focus on crypto. The thing is, when it comes to the futures market on those exchanges, those are fine. There's predictability there. But here's the problem. is there's a number of events that's happened this year that's made it really difficult. First, you have that GameStop fiasco with Roaring Pussycat and his crowd on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. They've totally distorted the market. So thankfully, you cannot manipulate the futures market. There is predictability there. I find it very, but you can easily suss out what will move and what won't. The problem is you're just not going to get the crazy returns that you can get with crypto or even options in the futures market. If you can get predictability and it's consistent predictability, go crazy on the leverage. But again, here, we don't need the crazy leverage in crypto as well. It's lower risk there because the moves are so big. We're getting the same moves as if you were in the futures market. So there's another benefit of crypto, but the futures market's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It is regulated, so you're kind of in a good space. So there's that. So no, those are good as long as you can find predictability. What to trade now in the markets? I would line up some USD in Norway because I think the markets will go into a panic mode. That will be the top safe haven outside of crypto. Oil looks good still. I think it's starting to top out. I would have said copper, but that's, who knows? Again, there's no predictability there was. But there's not much out there to trade and invest into because that's what it really is you're investing in the futures market. Here you're actively trading like a day trader. So hopefully I've answered your question there with my gaze. Smile asked, first time here was talking about the fees charged because of what you said about the speed they have. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm assuming you mean commission fees. Commission fees on Binance are very low. It's 0.1%. It's so marginal, you won't even notice it. When you do it in huge volume, like I did with the Kraken bot, where it made potentially up to $2 million, when I calculate those fake, well, they're real commissions on paper trading. The commissions were about a couple $100,000. So you'll notice it when you get to those levels, but what do you care if you're making $2 million? Because that's netted out of the commissions. It's very low. But Binance right now is very low at 0.1%, without a doubt. So hopefully that is marginal. And Binance is the lowest exchange as well. Both Coinbase and Kraken are very expensive. So there's that. So hopefully I'll answer your question. With my gaze, it's possible to calculate win-loss ratio of your crypto bot and come up with an average edge. Yeah, I've done that before with the successful Kraken bot. There were days where the win ratio, and again, it's all volume related. When you look at this happening, and if I broke it down to, let's say, in here somewhere, and I broke it down to a 1 minute level, you know, what day are we at? I don't even know what day we're at. But there's a lot of days where the volume is so much, and the news, you could throw anything at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it will just go up. And so it was trading a lot. So the win ratio was up to 90% on those kind of days, and it was never below 50%. Because as I said before, with the question of with the heavy losses that you can take, if you have just the knowledge that you know when to turn on the bot, when to trade, when the momentum's there, that's what you do, and turn off the bot when it starts to drop. That's all you need to do as a form of defense to keep the bot rolling. That's the best risk management out there. So you can get really high in certain time frames of 50 to 90% win ratio in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But with Bitcoin, you're making way more money, and you're usually double win ratio with Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Everything else is much lower win ratio, but it is reflective on the trading volume at that time when the momentum allows the crazy trading periods. Smile Away says, I'm very interested in your products. I did put the links in. Let me just put the shop in there as well. If you are interested, this is what I do. As I said, the prices will start to go up. Okay, I cannot deny that because of the verification, the third-party verification I have with cointracking.info. This is one of the other reasons why I got rid of Coinbase and Kraken, because I started realizing they were a waste of my time. So I put the shop link in there if you are interested. Yes, smile away. I did mean on the charges and the commissions, so I hopefully answer that by covering it. Want to make sure I don't have anything I missed here. Was talking about the fees. Is it possible? So I've talked about the win ratio. Any of you guys got any other questions at all? I appreciate you guys watching this. Anybody else? Technical? I put the shop links in there if you want. I'll put it again in the chat. But this is how I eat, folks. how I keep the lights on. I have to buy these cheap lights because I can't, well, no, that's another day. But I've got the third-party verification. That's very important. I've known that for the last while. That's why I've not been really pushing it. And made the virtual trading bot easy for people. So if you're used to Windows, you should be able to use Windows Server. All it really is just pushing buttons to activate your trading client script if you go with the quant analytics service. Anybody else got any questions? I'm not sure what else I can show you. But yeah, I'm really excited. I got an audience here, but it's a big deal with what's happening. I mean, if you really want these kind of returns, we call that Ferrari money. Plus, as I said earlier, when you're entering into a period where you got inflation is going to go against you, and your local currency, it's US dollar, it's dropping. It's dropping. It's dropping hard. They're saying inflation is going to go up 10% per year. So crypto's the only place to hide out, and that's why Bitcoin's doing what it's doing. Bayram, how are you? Hey, do you keep positions in Excel file regularly when trading day ends to keep the accounts? No, it's done in real time. The bot will generate and actually uses the spreadsheet that I've shown as part of the metric checking. I just came up with this last week. Total ROI, that's a total profit for the day. That's the position, ROI on each position, entry and exit with the P&L. So I'm able to track everything as well as the weighted average at that timestamp. And as I said, this is going back, actually it's the 13th, but usually we're doing about a couple of hundred positions a day. I assume your bot keeps it. Yeah, it has to keep it on record to generate my my charts, my performance charts, the equity curve. I wish I had generated the equity curve for you all. I've got a position log for that if people want to see it to show it's not BS. You can just check the timestamp of each trade. It would be doing a couple of hundred positions a day as well. And as I said, it went from 16 billion in the portfolio, 16,000, as I said, back in November 11th. And then it started to accumulate up to 2 million on paper, of course. I'm great. How about you, pal? I'm doing great. Not on Facebook as much as I'd like to be. It's all on YouTube now. But I don't want to be zucked as the tech private guy says, Rob Braxman. So more YouTube. Anybody else got any questions? I don't mind answering what you got. Oh, another question from Sika. Sika, how are you, my friend? I always got your name wrong. I apologize. Hello, Brian. Sorry for the lateness. I have the FF questions. With crypto being so volatile, how does the bot assess the leverage that Binance offers? Okay, this spreadsheet has no leverage. Now, in the futures bot, if I can get the crazy win ratios that I got with Kraken, yes, I'll use leverage like crazy. It's free money to elevate that profit. See, I'll use it then. But for now, it's just 1-to-1. Is it safe to go for 1-to-100 or 1-to-125 leverage Binance offers? It depends on the situation. If you have a bot that's performing, like I said, and you got scenarios where your bot's showing for the day or for that hour, couple hours, even a couple of minutes, and you're at, let's say, 75% win ratio, I'd say, yeah, go 50 times. And if it's at 90, go 100. But watch the hourly moves. The hourly moves is the key. Once you start to see weakness in the price, weakness in the profit potential, get out and exit all your positions. Actually, in the Kraken bot, it got to a point where the volatility got so crazy. What I did was it would have 10, 20 positions open at one time. As soon as it would see one form of weakness in the Binance or in the Bitcoin price or the Ethereum price, it just panics and closes everything. And that's how I was able to retain profit real fast. So keep that in mind. What is the safest amount do you think is recommended to start trading with your script? That's a good question. The purpose of what I'm trading here on these spreadsheets here is minimum price. Okay, so meaning that if you go to the trading rules on Binance, let me pull that up, because everything's all about thresholds and trading rules when it comes to Binance. Okay, so if you Google, let me just bring up Google here, and you type Binance trading rules. Okay, now let me tell you about this compared to other exchanges. As I said, the Binance exchange is the most generous compared to anything out there. It's way more generous than Coinbase and Kraken will ever give you. So you want to be on Binance for that. But when you look at either the support or the futures market trading rules, in terms of position, how much money you need to start depends upon life, What I tell people that are close to retirement is start with a couple $100, let the bot perform, let it prove itself to you. As you feel more confident, then you can start scaling up your account. So here, this is the amount you need to make one trade in Binance. Position sizing is not that difficult, but you have to understand the rules. So here, in order to make a trade, usually it's going to be 10 US tether, which is 10 US dollars. So with my bot, and that's in the trading script that you get with the source code, I add in, depending upon if it's a futures market or spot market, it'll add on another 20%. So instead of being $10 per trade, you can go $12, $15, or $50, whatever you're comfortable with. So as I said, right now the market's fairly slow. You could start at $10 per trade in an account with $500. Okay, but again, you're gonna have spot and you're gonna have futures. So you could probably split it up into $250 a piece and put it into the spot wallet and the futures wallet and start. As you get more comfortable with it, add more, or you just leave it and the account grows on itself, so you don't have to worry about it. As I said earlier, I started with not much more than 300 US funded in a Binance account and moved it up to 5,000 plus in 2 years. So because of that, I now can take bigger trades, more risk, and add leverage because I have the capital to do it. So again, you get the source code with this analytics service, and you can do whatever you want with a script. That's for risk management, for risk assessment, or position sizing. Your choice. It's all done in Python. So that's one of the big benefits of that. And as I said, the virtual server is ready to go. It's a snapshot you get transferred into your, I'd probably go with a Vulture account and get it deployed into, if you're doing Binance.com, get it deployed into the Tokyo data center, and you should have really, really low latency and be able to take advantage of everything. And then on top of that, if you, I'm going to be testing this For Binance US, it's the same story if it goes into the New Jersey data center on Vulture. So there's that. So does the spot and future script give the same signal at the same time? For instance, signal to long BTC at the same time in both spot and futures account. I have seen that. I've not seen it all the time. These are early days to make that answer, but I have seen it. Depends upon the coin, depends upon how often that coin moves, but I have seen it. And I've not seen it in a lot of other cases as well. So Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm not sure on yet. I have to get the new Ethereum and Bitcoin bot that's from the Kraken, so I can test that and see if that behavior does Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I do have a current Binance futures bot. It's rarely trading, not like the spot market, and I think it's due to just the lack of volume. So I'd rather take the energy and repeat what I've had with the Kraken and deploy it, same trading rules, same trading logic, and rewrite and just transition it for Binance, see what happens. And I'm hoping to be able to say to a US resident, say, hey, look, this thing's now working on Binance futures with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Can synchronize that with Binance US, because Binance US should be able to support this kind of behavior in terms of pricing with both Ethereum and Bitcoin if the volume's there. The thing is, if you're only trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should be safe to trade for sure Bitcoin. So if you look at the trading volumes of Binance US for US residents, here you do have some coin selection, but you won't get what you get on Binance.com. And again, as I said, that's due to the fact that Binance doesn't want to allow itself to be registered with the regulators in the States. That's why they're not there. That's why a lot of these exchanges are not in the States. But they have this Binance US. But when you look at the volume here for, let's say, Bitcoin, that's $1 billion. So that's as big as any other exchange on its own. So there's that. The only thing I worry about is, let's say, I'm sorry. Yeah, so you have here only 100 million, I should say. I got the wrong column there. That's a market cap. So this is the problem. It's only 100 million, okay? But is that enough to give you decent fills? Maybe. I can't say. But it should be okay with the big coins that gives you the big moves. Okay. I'm really surprised here that the USDT against US dollar is that much by that's something I just saw. But I wish I could give you a better answer on that on a 24-hour volume for Binance US. But unfortunately, that's how it is in the world of US regulation. Unfortunately, I got hit with Kraken futures a while back. That's why I'm on Binance. What I worry about is that they're going to turn around and say, sorry, you can't trade on Binance futures in Ontario, just like they did with BitMEX and whatever else. So I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm prepared to move if it does, because it's basically the regulators are holding back my potential. And we haven't even talked about tax yet either. Okay. Any other questions at all? Sika, you got any more questions? Don't be shy, guys. We can, what time is it right now? It's not too bad. Usually I do these for an hour and a half. And again, this video playback will be, I'm not sure if I might keep this on YouTube. Usually I put this in my news service I have for my boot camp. All these video playbacks go into that. So, but this might be a good video to educate people on Binance and crypto. Guys, I mean, it's tiny amounts for me, but it means a lot. I do know that YouTube, pretty well everything's been shadow banning me. That's why I'm on Telegram. That's why I'm on the other alternative sites, trying out Parlor and there if I go on and get on the Gab, but there's an audience there. Finally, I got Sika's name correctly. Thank you. Oh, you have more questions. I've watched your walkthrough video, and my question in regards to quote precision. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's the toughest. Auto input the right decimal, or it's done manually. Theoretically, it's done automatically in the code. I've built in different solutions for that. I just actually posted that on my Podbean account, which is the post. Let me. If you're interested in this sort of service, here's what I've done. If you go to my blog here, there's 2 posts that you might want to, but I'll post them in the chat. So this actual audio version of the walkthrough of the virtual server that I have. This right here, it's about half an hour. I'll walk you through the process of Vultr and the virtual server using Windows. So I'll put that in the chat boxes here on YouTube if you guys want to capture that. One thing as a forewarning, if you're wanting to watch the playback on YouTube, I have to forewarn you, it does take away the stream comments as well. YouTube, don't ask me why. Lastly, if you want to know about the source code, namely what Sika's mentioning here, I posted that yesterday on my podcast as well. I'll just find it here. This one called Audio Sample as well. So I'll post that. That's the source code of the trading client. Okay, so that will cover Sika's answer. Write down line by line in those podcasts, because it is a tricky situation. I have found solutions to work around that. But how it works is with Binance and any exchanges, they have each coin in USDT has what they call information, and in there they have 2 elements. They have the precision and then something steps. And before they submit an order to Binance. So there's a couple of coding examples that kind of cover that, where they extract that information out of the info in the coin and then mimic around in Python and round it out to the precision to enable that the trade can go through without having an exception thrown, because that can happen. And again, that's something that I don't really have a lot of control on these little coins that are at like 0.001, you know, like Doge or whatnot, or Neo or whatever they are, you know, the small coins that are less than $1 or XRP. Okay. And a lot of it has to do with volume as well, because if there's not enough volume, sometimes that order may get rejected by Binance. So really, and you listen to the podcast of the walkthrough on the trading client, you'll see and hear how I stress how important it is to capture the order information from Binance. So if you have a problem, you can use that to go and fight against Binance, because you have the evidence of all the IDs and everything that they sent back to you. Really important. So yeah, I have an email came in. I'm not sure if she's watching. She says, I just watched your final server demo walkthrough with Windows service. Great work. Thank you. Could I stick with Linux? I want to move to Linux personally too. Good learning opportunity. I'll set up time to set up things this weekend. Okay, so if you go into and you become a paying member of my quant analytics service, I have a whole bunch of videos and tips on there. Originally, I was hoping to do it in Linux using Ubuntu. You can use any Linux you want. There's different methodologies. If you're just a command line person, you can use the command line, set up your Python script and set up that. If you want that challenge, be my guest. And it's a really tough game to support that. You can do it. I also have the GUI version with already with a server as well, using, because with Vultr, if you use whatever Linux distro you want, be it, let's what I've got is they only offer you the shell. That's all you get. There's no front end at all. So I went onto one of their onto one of their pages at Vultr, and they give you a walkthrough, a graphical user interface front end using something called Ubuntu. So I set that up. It works. After last night, this is why I went to Windows. The connection into that was not very stable, and it kept blank. It was basically a blank screen. I had to restart the server. It was a real mess. So I'm not sure if that's due to the operating system itself, if that's due to Ubuntu. So be forewarned on that if you wanted to use a GUI front end with Linux. And remember, it's over the internet. But it's much better than DigitalOcean, I can tell you that. And that's why I went with Windows, because I think with Windows it's better. But knowing this question, I'll probably keep both options available. But in terms of support, and if you're not very technical savvy, but you know Windows, stay with the Windows Server option. It's probably better for your own sanity. And when you log into the Linux versus the Windows. I'm not a big fan of Windows, but when I saw it's Windows Server 2012, I said, hot damn, hot diggity, I'll stick with that, because that was the days when Microsoft was good. Windows 7, Windows Server 2012 was awesome. But once they brought out that hellish Windows 10, that's when I started moving over to Linux. Hopefully that question's answered. Anything else for people? I've covered everything, really. I've covered the virtual server that you get access to, if that's what you want. I'd probably stick with Ubuntu. Also, the other thing is to use the Windows if you want, Windows Server as well. It's the same script in Python. But I think we're ready to go. We got really solid message queuing from my server to the trading client, wherever you're hosted. It's using something called PubNub. It's a commercial grade message queue, and they guarantee 100 milliseconds. But if you're got a latency of 2 milliseconds when you're residing in Tokyo with that virtual server, it's like it's something I wish I could find a way to get those messages and signals quicker to potential clients. So I'll try to work something out. But 2 milliseconds, and that's been reported on another GitHub source, and that's out there on my blog. Multiple people reporting that. I tested that on my end with the new virtual servers. I got 1 millisecond. I also did from the same virtual server to Microsoft, it was 110 milliseconds. So I don't know what's going on there. If there's Binance, what Vultr has for the Tokyo data center, I was like, really, I was amazed. I was amazed by that, but I could be wrong there. But what I saw, it was very exciting. Any other questions at all? Questions, concerns, whatever else? No. Okay. No, maybe. Okay, so I'll do it going once, twice, 3 times. Appreciate the likes, appreciate everybody watching. I might come back again on YouTube, I'm not sure. Keep your eyes on the blog. If once this is ready to go and you're interested, I should help you out here. Okay, so on my website, if I have a section, if you want to have a one-to-one conversation on this, all you gotta do is just go over to Quantum Labs /questions. they're very basic questions. You can email them to me. I've got the email right here. I've been getting spam, and I know where it's coming from. I'll put this in the chat bots or chat boxes, and we'll go from there. Let me just put that in there. So it's in the chat. So you can always reach out to me via that. And the questions are fairly basic. As you can see here, specific goals, biggest challenge with trading, how would you reward yourself, questions with what I've got. I had to put this in now, the user agreement, code of conduct, so you understand what you're getting into. The other reasons why I put up the podcasts on both the trading client, you do have the technical know-how to set up and maintain those kind of things. It's not difficult. I do have the private chat server, so I'm hoping to build out a community from that to help have people help each other out. So that's another area I'm looking to grow. So it's all exciting moving ahead. But namely, what I do worry about for people, including myself, is this: the currency that we live off of is we're losing buying power over time. And as I said on Kai's report, it's a statue of labor or whatever, 10% in inflation per year. That's what's expected because of this debt. Anyways, any further questions at all? We can go on and on about it. If not, I'll do it going once, twice, 3 times, because I know there's a delay on the stream on YouTube. So I got 8:35. I'll just blab for until 8:40 my time. If not, I'll just give it a retirement for tonight on the stream. But as I said, my next big steps are to look at the bot from Kraken with the $2 million one between February to see if I can repeat the same access. Here. I think I lost my mic. So 8:40, I got 8:36. Any further questions? You guys hear me okay? I'll make sure I'm not lost. Just lost my little dinky headphone here. Anybody? So I'm going to put myself back on. Hello, everybody. Okay, so yeah, I've answered Sika's question. Okay, so any other questions at all on YouTube or good old Zoom? Minutes. If anybody's got any questions, I'm not seeing anything. Nope. Oh, more questions from Bayram. Last 2-hour volume calculation. Had some difficulties to calculate the volume. Yes. 2-hour volume calculation. Are you referring to the hourly moves? How that's done? There's different services for that. You can use Binance. I show that in my course. As one way. There's many ways. I used to use Coinbase as well, but I've updated it with Binance. And see the strike of the symbols to cash in the top 10% of the market. Yeah, you can do that right off the exchange. You can use CCXT for that. Another option is to subscribe to CoinMarketCap. They have in there, when you subscribe to it, it's very expensive, but it's about $75 a month. But they do have the data in there for the 1 hour. So that's another source you can use. CoinMarketCap, subscribe to it for the data. That should help you out. But there are services like that. I think CoinMarketCap would be your best one to use for the movers. And the signals based on hourly time frame. No, for Sika, question was, are the signals based on hourly time frame? No. What we're doing is we're scanning the market for the top movers using 1 hour data. And then from there, we put them on a watch list based upon certain criteria. And once that criteria is met, then it's a potential entry. And then we put it through another process once the entry is made for the exit. Basically, the exit is simple. Once you start to see it slow down, rate of change is a good one. And again, that's explained in my course. Once you start to see that weakness, get out of the trade because it's usually going to drop, which means that you'll lose profit. No problem, Bayram. I hope that helps you out. There is no formula. It's just pure data. And it's just trying to figure out how to build out the proper signaling for the screeners. So Sika gets it at my end about the hourly time frame. It's the criteria that matters when you have a watch list. What is a solid trade, solid entry? But it changes, and you have to adjust your bot for the market regime, because the market regime right now was momentum. You're not showing the chart. I share screen here. Share screen. Okay. Hopefully they can see my bot here. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin as the granddaddy of them all. If I look at 1 day chart, the market regime changes all the time, okay, with crypto. So what happens with crypto you can see here between, let's say in the summer, see how flat it is between July and October, it's flat. So what happens to crypto overall? It's a market regime. It's flat. There's very little profit to be made there. So along comes November, and now it takes off. So once it takes off, then you have a new market regime, momentum based. Here on the pullback, you don't know what to do. You're probably panicking. And you may want to do shorting, but you may go, I'm going to give up on crypto because the days are done. And look what happens. We're back to the prior regime as one before. It just doesn't last as long. That's why being able to develop bots fast is important. So here, what do you do in that market regime? Well, you better have another bot like what I have for the spot bot, because I know I can find performers like that. So it's still performing, crypto's still good, I can still profit from. Okay, so right now, we're kind of in that mode now, but where will this go? Nobody knows. It may start to drop. But the idea here is to start looking for these guys, these movers, Cardano and Myth, the ones that perform and go against the performance of Bitcoin. They're not correlated back on Bitcoin or Ethereum. And you got a few other coins that you can play with as well, like the DeFi coins. And the most important thing is don't listen to people, because they'll tell you that crypto sucks and it's going to die. Well, they're the ones taking the bus to their McDonald's job, but you could be making a lot of money here. Any other questions at all? That was a question for Sika. And anybody else? I'll give it 2 more minutes if there's any other questions. Anybody? Question? So I put up a lot here, but you can see why these gems that I give out, do I really want that to be known in the public? No. But this video, the content of it is hopefully helpful. Anybody? Questions? I've got 8:43, 8:45 my time. We'll do the cutoff. That's 2 minutes. Waiting for questions or comments. So hopefully, while we're here, if you like what you're seeing here, 2 things you can do. Get on my email list. I put out a newsletter every day. What I'm doing, what's working, what's not working. And if you want to get on my private chat server, which has no tracking or logging, plus I got some coding samples, MotiWave, the platform you're watching here, plus the Python I talk about, some coding samples and that, you can get $10, man. And it's lifetime access to my private chat server as well. So you'll be part of that community once it starts rolling. So 8:44, 1 more minute. Who's got questions? Let me just check on the comments here. Nothing so far. Okay. So hopefully I've answered everything so far. As I said, I'll report back via my streaming on YouTube on how this Binance, Bitcoin, Ethereum finance futures bot goes. The same one from Kraken, because that's where the success will be, the real success, if it works. Really depends upon these two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. If I break it down to a minute, this is where you make money. These leg ups quite a bit. That's the minute chart. For Ethereum, look at Bitcoin. Yeah, same thing. You can make a ton of money right along here using we'll see. Sounds like have a good day, pal. Catch up soon. Same to you, my friend. This internet thing really gets to me. Okay, I'm gonna skedaddle. I guess there's nothing else here. So I'll report back on the performance on that. I'm gonna be building out my P&L, win-loss ratio, and all that fun stuff that you're used to. Plus the equity curve will start to get generating for both bots. I'm gonna see what I can do for US as well, the Binance US. So we'll see what happens. All right, I guess we're done. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes, as I said. Thanks, means a lot. We shall talk to you later. All that fun stuff. Have a good day. Bye. Thanks. We'll see you guys later.